Thanks again for coming to Preparing for the School Year with Symphony Math. Today we're going to talk about scheduling and a little bit of growth mindset, and then we're going to go into the nuts and bolts and talk about logging into your dashboard for school admins, sending staff login info, and if you have new students coming in and we haven't already uploaded your students for you, or you need to shuffle them to a different class, how to modify the student information or put them in a different class. So first, I want to talk about some important considerations when you're thinking about how to use Symphony for the school year. First of all, Symphony is built on a growth mindset framework. So the general perception about math learning is that it's very linear and that you either get it or you don't. Fortunately though, through both growth mindset and reality, we know that that's not actually how math learning works. This is more like the reality of math learning. It's more like riding a bike. You really need to be able to fall off, get scraped up a bit, learn from that mistake, and eventually you do it the right way. And there's more than one right way, which is awesome. And this is a fantastic photo from a math classroom. Teachers are coming up with great ways to support growth mindset and change the culture in their classrooms towards a growth mindset framework, which is just beautiful. So we have lots of things like this that we share on our website. You're welcome to go to the website and explore that. It's www.qlearn.org, and that will be at the end of this presentation. So we know about the growth mindset. We also know that research shows great math progress if you get your students on between 45 and 60 minutes a week with Symphony Math. This shows a graph of 30,000 students who used Symphony Math for 5 or more hours in the fall, and the exponential growth that is shown when they used Symphony as requested. So the kids in the red either didn't use Symphony or didn't use it as requested. So it's pretty awesome. Definitely makes the case for scheduling and really working this into your daily classroom. However, we also know it's really difficult sometimes to schedule, to get all of that time in with each student. And we also know that you're requested to have everybody doing the same thing every day and just be on the same page. That's not how student brains work. There are kids who really need individual time and attention, who really need to be able to struggle and have challenges and work through those. And since it's so hard to create that one-on-one time with each student so that they can get copious practice and see lots of different visual learning models and have an opportunity to make mistakes repeatedly, that's how Symphony Math can really help in your classroom. It can be your helper. It can be the one-on-one with the students until Symphony Math can't do it, in which time you will get a little notice saying the student needs help, and we have a one-on-one intervention that you can use with that student. So it's an awesome, awesome tool. So here's some ideas from other Symphony users and how they have managed to schedule in Symphony. So math centers before, after school, open lunch sessions where the computers were just set up and students could come in and use them. Those were very popular. Using them in math blocks, small group work, one-on-one intervention, and smart boards where the kids work through lessons together. Okay, so that's scheduling. And now we're going to log into the teacher dashboard. We will look at the student addition and modifying student information and creating classes. If anyone has questions about how to do something with their specific account, let us know and I can help you one-on-one later. So you go to symphonylearning.com to log in. There's a teacher sign-in button at the top. There's also an administration panel sign-in at the bottom. They're the same. So you should have your account number. If you don't have it, I can give it to you, or somebody else in your school can get it for you. If you forget your password, click the Click Here button, and it'll give you a reset. So when you log into your dashboard, this is a school administrator view. If you're a teacher, you'll only see your class as opposed to the entire school. And since it's a new school year, this is very much what your dashboard will look like until your students have gotten in and taken the screener and benchmarker, at which point in time you'll start to see data populating the top. So if you need to add a student, you can go up to the Student tab, just click Add a Student, and then you can put in your student's information in each of the applicable blanks. If you'd like Spanish instruction, this is where you can switch to Spanish. Or if you'd like your kids to hear a nice British accent, you can also do that. Don't forget to choose the grade that they're in now. And please use a username that matches the syntax that the rest of the school is using, so you don't end up with duplicate usernames. This is also where you can tailor which stages your student is working in. If you need to narrow something down for them, you can uncheck or check the different concepts in the scope and sequence right here. However, when your students take the screener benchmarker when they first log in, Symphony will place them in the appropriate stages now, so you really shouldn't need to do that. So once you have classes, to make a change to the class, you click the blue class name, you go down to your roster, and any student that's right here in this box on the roster, you can click their name, click Add, and it will move them over into your class roster. If they've left your class, just click the Remove button and it puts them back into the school roster and removes them from your class. It's very simple. If you're on an iPad, sometimes the white box that says the staff names or the student names looks blank. You have to touch it first, and then the names will populate. So save changes when you finish. And then if you have a student whose name changes, or they haven't moved up a grade, or they are moving up a grade, if you want to change any demographic information for a student, you click their name again. So this is an existing student, and say Jennifer's mom got married. I can make her now Bloom Rose, because that's lovely. Any changes you want to make here, you just save. If you've decided that you're changing the password for your entire school and you want everyone to have the same same password, you can click the box at the very top, and then you can choose More Actions, Change Properties, and this will change the properties for all of the students I've just clicked. It's very convenient if you're a teacher and you're changing the information for all the kids in your class, or if you're an administrator and you're changing all the information for your entire school. So here are the different things you can change. Feel free to peruse those. You can also use this More Actions button to create school-to-home letters for your whole class. So you don't have to go through one at a time. You can print them out, send them home with each kid, and they can use Symphony at home. So we've talked about adding students, modifying student information, and creating classes. So now if you have any questions, you can type that into the chat box, or you can email me. I'm giving you our info@qlearn.org address. Someone will get back to you quickly if you send it to the info address, and you're also welcome to call.